Hello, I am Lottie from Henny and Jo's Limited. At Henny and Jo's, we specialise in the creation and distribution of chai concentrate around the UK and abroad to cafes, cocktail bars and bakeries. So Ash and I met in Bath. I was working at a designer jeans company and Ash was working in a cafe as a manager. I used to go to Chandos Deli for my lunch every day, and he quit his job at his cafe to join Chandos Deli just to get to know me, which is very, very romantic and a little bit stalkery. But we met and Ash had this idea with chai. He'd sort of been mulling it over for ages. He'd been cooking a few test batches just to sort of try and get this recipe down. He was very, very intent on making it a business, and I said, yeah, let's do it. Ash saw a gap in the market. He was working in these cafes, and the chai at the time was a powder. It took a long old time to make. The speed of service for these cafes was always terrible when it came to chai latte. And I think Ash was sort of in this cafe stirring this powder into hot milk and going, oh, there has just got to be a better way to do this. So we came up with the idea of using a concentrate. And from that, from making it quicker for the cafe, he then realised he could make it vegan, he could make it allergen-free, he could make it caffeine-free, so a lot healthier for the customer as well. These powders, they tend to have lots of preservatives and additives, and they don't even use real spices, they'll use extracts and flavourings. So we could use real spices and we could really make it an authentic chai, but with the cafe in mind, making it a lot quicker for them to use. So at the very, very beginning of the business, Ash and I were cooking chai in these cafes that he was working in. We did that simply because that way in terms of food safety and food hygiene, it was a lot better than cooking it at home. We moved from cafe to cafe, always upping production as we went. We went from a little pan to a slightly bigger pan to a slightly bigger pan, but then we went to 5 pans. So it just sort of grew organically over time. So we named the business Henny and Jo's after the kids. So it has always been a very family-focused business. And they love it. You know, we go into a cafe and they see a bottle and they're like, it's us, it's Henny and Jo's. So it's lovely to see. What would be amazing is if we could carry this on to a point where the kids can take it on when they're older and we have something to be able to give them. You know, we can nurture this for as long as it needs to be nurtured, but it would be lovely if the kids could take it on and carry on the family business. I think the first time we looked at the business and we went, yeah, we've got something here, it's probably when we won the best hot drink in the Southwest. It was our first ever award. There was just something in that moment where we both looked at each other and we went, yeah, we can do this. This is a good product. This is going to happen. We have turned down some deals with massive UK retailers. We decided to do this because it was our ethos always from the beginning to support local independent companies. You know, if we could give them a product that is only for independents to use, then it gives you a leg up on these other companies. And you know, these other companies, they don't need help, these massive retailers. The people we were working with were just trying to get money for their kids to go to football lessons. That's the difference when you buy from an independent rather than a massive retailer. Sustainability has always been a massive part of Henny and Jo's. We have always made sure that it's in the forefront of every process we have in the business. So we look at every single section of our business and we go, how can we be more environmentally friendly? How can we make this more sustainable? Or everything from the way we package up our boxes, all the way to how we cook the chai and dispose of our waste. We have designed all of our packaging to send our glass bottles using as little packaging as possible. So we have a system where it's just 2 small pieces of cardboard that suspend the bottle perfectly in the box. So there's no plastic packaging, there's none of that polystyrene, which is just awful for the environment. I think it's very important for businesses to take sustainability and their impact on the environment seriously. I think on the whole, it's businesses that are doing the most damage to the environment, and I think it is businesses' responsibility to do something about it. It doesn't even have to be that hard. It's little things you can do here and there that really, really help. And like I said, if you do it from the beginning and grow that way, then it makes everything so much easier. So when we first started, we supplied maybe 5 cafes in Bath, and now we supply 600 to 700 establishments in the UK and further afield.